Miriam was her name. And some scholars say she was an actual Israelite that came out of the line of the Maccabees. So they mingled their seed among Israelites so their children could come out looking like Israelites. So this guy was sitting up there thinking that he was an actual Israelite. Go ahead.
Then Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian. And Paul said, I would to the Most High that not only thou, but also all that hear me this day were both almost and altogether such as I am, except these bonds. And when he had thus spoken, the king rose up, and the governor and Bernice, and they that sat with them. And when they were gone aside, they talked between themselves, saying, This man doeth nothing worthy of death or of bonds. Then said Agrippa unto Festus, This man might have been set at liberty if he had not appealed unto Caesar.
Mm-hmm. You read the part about kings? Let's go to Acts 9 and 15. All right, go ahead.
Acts chapter 9, verse 15. But the Lord said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel.
Yeah, so you got clowns out there that equate that prophecy of him going to Herod. Read that again.
It says, But the Lord said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles.
The Gentiles are talking about Israelites. Go ahead.
And kings.
The kings are talking about Israelites. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel.
And the rest of the children of Israel. That's what it's talking about. So you got people out there that don't understand the scriptures. All right, now let's go back to where we left off.
Genesis 17 and 6. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in the generations and their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a power unto thee and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their power. And the Most High said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant, which you shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man-child among you shall be circumcised, and you shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin. And it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man-child in your generations. He that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed, he that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant. And the Most High said unto Abraham, As for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. Then
what did that mean? That meant Israelites. Because out of her, that seed that was put in her, out of her womb, shall come who? Isaac. All right, and then out of Isaac shall come forth Jacob, and out of Jacob shall come forth the children of Israel. So those kings, read that again.
It says, And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her.
That's Isaac. Go ahead.
Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations.
A mother of nations. A mother of nations. It's talking about the nation of Israel. We were also called nations. Go ahead.
Kings of people shall be of her. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed, and said unto his heart, and in his heart, Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? And Abraham said unto the Most High, Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. And the Most High said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget. And
Yeah, so they're receiving those blessings now with that oil, man. You see them sheiks out there? Those guys got servants that have servants, man. I mean, they have over there in the Middle East, certain places, Saudi Arabia, the family, the Saud, what's the name of that family? The Saudi family, the royal family of Arabia are known as the Sauds. That's why it's called Saudi Arabia, because it was named after that royal family. Over there in Kuwait, certain other Arab. I mean, they're living in paradise, man. Dubai, they're living in paradise out there, man. Where they might have a house so big that they might have a garage that can fit 100 brand new cars. I mean, top of the line cars, Lamborghinis, Maybachs, Bentleys. You know, then they have those the equivalent to the Indy 500 out there, and they're living good. They're living like royal people. So that's part of that blessing. Go ahead.
And I will make him a great nation, but my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear.
It was so great when the Bushes went over there. They kissed certain of them Saudi family members, man, bowing to them, kissing them. Even Barack Obama bowed to one of them, man. And Baby Bush held hands with one of them. Go ahead.
But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time the next year. And he left off talking with him, and the Most High went up from Abraham. And Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were brought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in that self same day.
Yeah, because he had servants. So did the Most High have a problem with a man having slaves? No. So when we put this man in slavery, the Most High ain't going. They act like it's so far fetched that we're going to put them in slavery, man. When they had us in slavery, slavery is never going to go away. We're going to always have slaves. We're going to always have people. We're a royal people, so we're going to always have people under us. Go ahead.
It says, and the power said unto him, and Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. In the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son. And all the men of his house born in the house and bought with money of the stranger.
Yes, your slaves, your servants, they got circumcised too. Go ahead.
Were circumcised with him. Genesis 18:1. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him, and he saw them. He ran, and when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself toward the ground.
These are angels, so you can understand. These are from the spiritual realm. Go ahead.
And said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts. After that you shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, So do as thou hast said. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. And Abraham ran unto the herd, and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted to dress it. And he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed, and he set it before them. Excuse me. He set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were well old and well stricken in age. And it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? And the Lord said unto Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of surety bear a child which am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, Nay, but thou didst laugh.
Yeah, because the angels can read your mind. Go ahead. That further proves that those are angels. Go ahead.
And the men rose up from thence and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham the thing which I do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation,